Hello friends, welcome back to Tam's Classy Creations, the channel where we break down projects so even a beginner can do it. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. Before we get started, I want to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I release new videos every week. All right, let's get into the video. Today I have a different kind of video for you. I'm going to make a teddy bear in an embroidery hoop. This is an in the hoop design and it's done with the 5x7 hoop, and we are going to do 4 hoopings. The ears are a hooping, the head is a hooping, the arms are a hooping, and the body. The bear we're making today is going to be made out of pink Minky and white fleece. So without further ado, let's get to the embroidery machine. Now on the bear we have a face, ears, hands, and body. We need to start with the ears, so we're going to select that and set it, and we're ready to make the placement stitches. First we're going to stitch the placement line for the ears. So there's our placement. I'm going to place this material. We will tape it down just a little bit. I'm not going to put any topper on yet. Okay. Now we need the placement line for the inner ear. Now we have the placement line. Now we're going to do the tack down. And we're going to do, this is the inner ear part. Okay, we have the tack down on the inner ear, and I'm going to go clip that real close to the seam, and I'll be back. Okay, I've put the topping stabilizer on, so we're ready to stitch down the inner ear. Notice I haven't cut the pink yet. We need to wait around the outside of the ear until we get the backing on. Okay, we're going to be on our last stitch. I'm going to peel the topping off, and we need to put this material down right side down. So I'm going to put it under here, and now we're going to do our last stitch, which attaching the back of the ear to the front. Now, we need to cut a 1/4 inch around the stitching on the line. Both sides, give it at least a 1/4 inch here. Then we are going to pull out the tearaway stabilizer and turn the ears right side out. I've removed the stabilizer and turned them right side out. They're ready to go when we do the face. We're doing the arms next, and we're going to start with the placement line. So I'm going to place this on the placement lines, and we're going to do the tack down stitch for the arms. Now we're going to stitch the paw pad, and we need topping on that so that the stitches don't sink into the material. Now that it's stitched that, I'm going to pull some of the topper off, and we're going to put the back on the hands. So remember, right side face down. And I'll put a little bit of tape there to hold that. Okay. Now we want to cut around the arms just a 1/4 inch. And now it is open here, and we are going to turn it and stuff it. Now I've turned the arms right side out, and we're going to stuff them. But I love how they give you a stitch here at the 1/4 inch, and you just, after you stuff it, you just fold both of these sides in, and you'll just hand stitch it. Now we're going to do the placement stitch for the body. So now I'm going to place this on the placement line, and we are ready for the tack down line on the body. Now we're going to do the belly placement stitch. Okay, we're going to put this over the placement line of the belly, and we're going to do the tack down stitch. So now I have to cut really close to that tack down stitch that I put on. Now I've put topping on it, and we're going to do the satin stitch around the belly. Okay, the body is almost done. There would be one more stitch in the original pattern, putting the back of the body on. But I went in Brilliance and added the name who I'm going to give the bear to. So I want that to stitch now while the topping's on and everything. Okay, now we do have that last stitch. We have Claire all done, and remember we're going to put it right side down. Okay. I'm going to take this off, and we're going to cut it again a 1/4 inch. We're going to take the tearaway stabilizer off and turn it right side out. I turned the body right side out, and there's our Claire. So now we're ready for the final part to the bear. We're going to do the head. We're going to do the placement line for the head. So I'm going to place my material over the placement line. Get it tacked down here, and we're going to do the tack down stitch. I've put topping on. Now we're going to be stitching the eyes. I've changed the color to white. Now we're going to just do more of the eyes. I've changed to brown. Now we're going to make the placement line for the muzzle. Now we're going to do the tack down line for the muzzle. Now we need to clip real close to the tack down line on the muzzle. Now we're going to do the satin stitch around the muzzle. Next step, we're going to be doing a lot of the black in the eyes and in the muzzle. Now we're just going to do, I changed the thread to white, so we're just going to do a little more eye work. Now this is one of the most important parts. It's a little tricky, but we're going to stitch the placement lines for the ears. Okay, I've taped the ear down where the placement line is so the stitch can go right in the 1/4 inch. Now we're going to do the other ear. I think running the tape maybe just across the seam might be the easiest way to do it. Now, since we have the ears on, the final thing is to put the backing on. Remember, right side of material down. I'm going to really put some pins in here and pin this down well. I'm going to leave the tape on the ears. Okay, I'm going to help it a little bit to get over these ears, but we're going to stitch the final stitch with the backing on. That is the trickiest part, going over the ears and putting those on. Now we're going to cut a 1/4 inch seam all around, get rid of the stabilizer, and turn it right side out. Okay, the face came out so cute. Like I said, the ears are the toughest thing. So I turned them, now I need to stuff them and put the parts together. Here's Claire. Now I stuff the arms and then you stitch them closed. And then you have the head and the body. You stuff them quite a bit because you want this head not to wobble. So you stuff them, and then I kind of stuff the body up in the head, and then you just stitch that on. And then, as you see in the back, I stitch the arms onto the body. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. That's all I have for you today. See you in the next video.